let's find out what happened last time. After cleaning up the mess of their murder and feeding it to their friend the Sarcosuchus, our heroes bid adieu to the monster and scanned the area, spotting the same Almirage from before sitting above the opening to the residential quarter, as well as a plume of smoke billowing from the scholars' quarter. Having already followed the Almirage the previous day, Sigrun chose to head towards the library that Broken Barrel had so adamantly prohibited. Sigrun and Margarita would grab hold of another long vine snaking its way over the stagnant waters and start climbing hand over hand across. Mark submerges yet again, preferring to walk underneath the waters, which remind him of where he comes from. Snorri, sweating profusely, attempts to follow Sigrun and Margarita, hoping to avoid the waters, but his hands had grown so sweaty and his strength wasn't at its peak, and he lost his grip, plummeting into the infected waters below. He flailed around in the water, swimming towards the entrance and climbing out just as Mark emerged. Up ahead, Mark spotted a figure step out and quickly hide, hoping to avoid being spotted. But it was too late, and Mark called out, "I see you." The jig was up, and a group of white-robed figures stepped out from behind the building. Margarita and Sigrun saw this from up on the 30-foot wall and quickly started jumping down to meet up with the rest of the group. They would have a quick conversation with the other adventurers. They claimed to be here for magic, but they didn't have a charter of exploration, so they'd been avoiding the Flaming Fist. They made it clear that they were leaving the Scholars' Quarter because it had been picked completely clean, and were hoping to find more in the personal homes of the citizens. But that didn't feel right. As a fellow enemy of the Fist, the group agreed to let the others pass and continue on their business. Pushing further into the Scholars' Quarter, the party discovered the remains of a fight surrounding the still smoldering campfire. Mark would go to investigate the cause of death and found that one of the bodies had its face seared completely off. The missing chunk was perfectly concave and smooth, as if it had been simply deleted. Oh no.
Annihilated.
Annihilated even. Oh no, if this was what it seemed to be, this was caused by a sphere of annihilation. It only made sense that those responsible for this were the same group that they had passed on the way in. And although they hadn't fully believed them, this proved that they weren't what they led on to be. These individuals were dangerous. Thinking back through all his studies, Mark suddenly recalled who these people were. The Sphere of Annihilation, the White Cloaks, these were members of House Karanok from Chesenta. They worshipped a giant sentient sphere of annihilation named Entropy. In the distance, they spotted a large pyramid towards the center of the quarters and made their way to it. It appeared to have a landing towards the top where leaders would make announcements to the crowds below. The sun was setting, and from here, more white-robed figures were seen on the roof of a building to the north, and another group of cultists carrying torches were emerging from the front doors of the library directly next door. The group discussed what to do next. Should they try to avoid the cultists? Should they kill them? Or should they attempt to talk their way into their good graces? The other group wasn't openly hostile, so they decided to walk right up to the group and start a conversation. Things between them didn't stay peaceful for long, as the cultists discovered that some of our heroes were actually, remind me, what was the turning point of this conversation? Was it just, I couldn't remember if it was that you guys were trying to, I don't know, does anyone remember?
Okay, Mark. So Snorri and Margarita were looking for a fight regardless.
Mm-hmm.
But as usual, we would have backed down if the other two weren't in it. So we had actually kind of started sneaking around to the side of them, just in case this went the way we thought it was going to go.
Mm-hmm.
And just as it seemed that everything was about to kind of be chill and we were going to walk away, they threatened Mark and basically called him an abomination, said he has no place and shouldn't exist.
And that was because he's magical in some way. Because he was a shield guardian, a magical shield guardian.
Because he's a construct, a construct in general.
Yeah.
It was nothing as specific as shield guardian. Just a construct was enough.
Yep.
Because his essence is magic.
Yeah, I remember that we discussed they weren't necessarily able to tell that you were spellcaster specifically, but yeah, that makes sense that they picked on Mark, and then everyone was like, "Oh, you don't say that shit about my bro." Okay.
Well, they didn't even think of it because Mark questioned them like, well, then what about me? What do you think of me?
Oh,
And
he
they were
brought
like,
it
oh,
up.
yes, I suppose. Yeah, he brought it up.
Interesting. But yeah, I guess it was revealed. It was that he was a construct, that he was related to magic in some way. They were openly against magic, and the attack broke out. Where are we? A battle erupted, the cultists igniting and throwing small bundles of herb at the group's feet, causing smoke to billow into the space around it. At first, this seemed no more than atmospherics, but when Sigrun went to cast Booming Blade on one of the combatants and it failed to fully realize, they started to realize what was going on. This herb was emitting some sort of anti-magic smoke, which made things extra complicated. Snorri quickly reached through the portal that led to his rage fuel and plucked another fey critter out to chomp on, but oddly enough, the portal was warped, and although he was able to successfully pull the creature through, he felt his hand rub against the side of the portal. It was drastically smaller for some reason. But Snorri had no time to think about it as he attacked the oncoming cult minions. Margarita, too, would go into a rage, rushing in on the bad guys and going nuts with her axe. But Mark had an idea. He saw that the sun was almost down, and he knew all too well the downside of needing to rely on torches. And so he cast Druidcraft, snuffing out torches one by one. And when he was done with the torches, he moved on to the bundles of burning herbs, stopping the smoke from billowing and stopping the soap from billowing, and after a few seconds, stopping the anti-magic effects as well. As Mark extinguished the flames and the bundles of witchweed, the others fought their hardest to take out the cultists, but it was starting to look like they had met their match. Snorri's sickness had drastically affected his battle prowess, and he was missing hits more than he was hitting. Margarita was doing better, but not by much. Mark shouted to the others, wondering
Whoa. Margarita was cleaning house.
Was she? Okay.
House.
Well, I just know that it was questionable whether you should stay or go. Or at least Mark questioned it. Mark shouted to the others, wondering if they should start retreating. I mean, Ad, what did you have to say?
Margarita was always doing well. Everybody else sucked.
It was okay. Margarita was just doing awesome.
No, Margarita carried the team that day.
Nice.
With the exception of Mark actually using Druidcraft in combat. Holy crap. That was amazing. Amazing. That'd be like if someone uses there's a prestidigitation somehow to like win combat. It's like, how did you do this? Anyway.
Yeah. Could you like clean up a grease pool or something possibly with?
Maybe. I would say yeah.
Depends on the DM.
Yeah, I would let someone get 5 feet at a time if they wanted to clear up grease or something.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, just 5 feet at a time.
Prestidigitation.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
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 Mark shouted at the others, wondering if they should start retreating, but Snorri wasn't going to run, and he rushed up the stairs right into the face of one of the... Wait a minute. These people claim to hate magic, but then what the hell was this magic-looking bullshit they were fighting with? Everyone felt it deep down that these assholes were lying to themselves if they didn't think that what they were wielding was magic. Dark energy, my ass. That shit was clearly magic, and they were fucking hypocrites. Once one minion went down, though, more went down, and the tables started to turn. Snorri and Margarita staying frontline and swinging their hearts out, and Sigrun and Mark blasting from a bit back. The cultists would attempt to capture Snorri and the others with dark energy spells, but in the end, our heroes remained standing, and all but one cultist did not. The last minion retreating into the library, but Snorri chased after him, landing a killing blow in his back, and he quickly cut off the man's head and returned to the others. They needed to get out of Dodge. They needed rest, and another fight against them would mean certain doom. And so our heroes grabbed up a couple of the witchweed bundles from the ground and looked to set up a campsite for the night. As the group searched for an ideal campsite, Snorri began to hear voices. The shivering sickness was really getting to him at this point, and the voice was getting louder. Before long, he wasn't able to ignore it and found that the sound was coming from inside the house. I mean, inside his pouch. Opening it up, one of his severed goblin heads began to speak. He was hallucinating, or was Hookrick speaking to him? The head addressed Snorri and apologized for not giving him more details. There was something big going on, and the gods were severely limited as to how much guidance they could give. The Red Knight was allowed to set things in motion, but from there on out, radio silence was enforced. But now that Snorri's system was out of whack, Hookrick was hoping it would allow for a somewhat encrypted conversation. just long enough to encourage his follower and make sure he knew his actions were being seen. As Snorri spoke to the head, the others looked on confused. To them, the head was inert, and Snorri had lost his marbles. But when Sigrun started to hear tidbits of the conversation, her interest was piqued, and she began to demand more details as Snorri slipped further and further into a sleepy daze. Snorri repeated a handful of things Hugrik had said back to Sigrun as camp was being set up, and Sigrun tried her best to keep him awake long enough that she could document everything. I guess that's
Actually,
where we begin.
no.
What?
Actually, no. She absolutely
She
100% thinks it was a delirious fever dream.
Yeah.
That's yeah. Sorry, your recap was.
No,
She doubted everything.
I didn't believe him.
Oh, you don't believe any of it? Okay.
No. She thinks that he's having like some kind of fever dream.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
She thought it was weird, a weird coincidence for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But like, yeah, she thought it was a weird fever dream.
Okay, I must have been mixing up
Yeah.
player with character, because I remember you're like,
Oh,
you got
yeah,
all
player.
this stuff, and oh man, it's crazy. So yeah, I must have been mixing that up.
Yeah, you mix up player and character. Yeah, that's okay.
How
Alrighty.
dare you?
How dare I?
How dare you when you have so many things to keep track of?
I know. All right, well, I guess that's where we begin. You guys have set up camp. I mean, I guess how far away from the library did you go?
I don't know.
I think we're still in the same district.
Right.
Oh yeah, 100%.
But I mean, far enough that you probably don't see the front. You know, you
Yeah.
don't, away
Oh,
that
yeah.
the people on the roof of the other building can't see you in their watch.
Yeah, like you've got us
Yeah.
outside, which is fine. I think we had initially talked about jumping into a building,
Oh,
make
okay.
camp, but
Well, we can
That's
say
fine.
this is a building. I just don't have a lot of individual building maps, but
yeah,
we can
that's
say
what
there's
I kind
walls
of.
around this.
I was about to say, I kind of figured.
Yeah.
So maybe it's a ruined building. This is like the outgrowth from like the caved in, some of the caved in roof and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Nature's taking it back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'll do some extra walls around the outside.
I mean, it's only going to matter if we roll for an encounter tonight, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
That's probably why he's asking.
Damn it.
Oh.
I was trying. I don't know, man. I think if they come after us tonight, they're pretty fucking dumb. Like, there is no way we didn't take out more than a sizable point. Like, most of them. I would say they've lost enough that they're probably better off licking their wounds and refortifying. But they could
Yeah.
also be morons.
Well, what wounds?
Well, they're stupid enough to not realize that they're using magic, so and
Sure, but
By
no one's
wounds,
hurt.
I mean the loss of like
I
7.
see, yeah. Of the
Yeah,
loss of some of their people, yeah.
The group is wounded,
yeah.
That's fair.
right? Like,
But on the other side of things, anyone who's going to come after you is fully healed up. So, who knows?
I do. I knows.
I know. All right, well, anyway, outside of speculation and meta stuff, you guys are sitting down at camp, getting ready to rest up and start a fresh day. You've hidden yourselves away in this kind of ruined building, set up the tents and the campfire. What are you guys getting up to?
Is this the same night that Snorri's already asleep because he saw the skull and like passed out right after?
It's the same night, but I mean, we don't have to say that you passed out immediately if you want to have gotten stuff done. You are still sickly and not feeling the best. Sleeping it off is
Can
the
I
best thing for you, but
get some extra sleep for advantage on tomorrow's roll to see if I.
okay, sure, yeah. If you're going to sleep now and you're just going to sleep through
I'm
everything.
going to sacrifice my actions. Snorri goes right to sleep.
Okay.
I'm actually going to say he falls asleep sitting up, like he's leaning against that statue. And he just went, yeah, anyway,
okay.
so it was Sigrun, it was,
Falling into a plate of food, just like.
yeah.
Yeah.
toddler.
Sigrun will summon her invisible servant to start setting up like tents and stuff like that, while she begins the arduous process of dragging Snorri into said tent and getting him at least a little bit more comfortable. Yeah.
Your bugbear heritage helps you. Otherwise, you'd have a hard
Otherwise,
time.
I'd be fucked. I am squish.
I could just
I
imagine that
don't-
your unseen servant takes half of them, so like I don't know, just
Yeah.
looks funny in my head. He's floating
Just
while you're
like-
just holding his hands.
No, it's got to be like she's got his arms like this,
Yeah.
and like 1 foot is in the air for the unseen
Sure.
servant.
And the other foot
He's
drags
getting
along
dragged.
around.
Yeah.
He's like the unseen
And
servant can
Margarita
only
just
lift like 50
watches.
pounds, right? Like
She
you know,
doesn't
Yes,
offer to
she's
help. She just watches.
No, she's just drinking. She's just like, I deserve this.
She's
Just
much more
drowning.
equipped to do this,
Tej.
but yeah, no, it's Sigrun's responsibility. I don't think we
you
should
help yourself
fire
because I think I'm the only one with alcohol. Margarita, do you help yourself to some of the tej that?
Oh, 100%. She's just like,
Didn't
I
you give us
deserve this.
Let me just mark what?
Didn't you give us some of the Tej? I thought you gave it. Oh, no, maybe not.
Yeah, Snorri's still walking around with 5 gallons of the stuff.
Ooh.
Yeah, he's probably
5
willing to share, but just you'd have to go to him. So he's passed out, and Margarita's
Yeah,
just
so
like pulling a bottle out of his pack, and
Yeah, so I'm just gonna do the handoff here.
Thank you.
I don't think we should have a fire tonight. Don't want to draw any attention.
Why the fuck are you even talking about my glue yet?
Yeah, okay, sleep well, buddy. She just plops a blanket over you and closes the tent up and goes back outside.
if we do not have a fire, I may not be able to keep watch tonight.
You can't make any
So-
light.
But wouldn't that defeat the purpose of not having a campfire?
Campfire's a lot more, Would a campfire give off more glow than one of your spells?
Probably a bit more, I just worry. Any
Okay.
lights could draw attention.
That's
I'm not saying we should keep a campfire, I'm just saying I am inhibited in that way.
okay. I guess we need a campfire then, because, I mean, he's not going to be able to help us with watch, so we'll need you up.
I mean...
Okay, let's start a fire. We might as well have something with smoke to keep some of the bugs away if we're going to have light.
Fair. Campfire's back. We don't... Maybe we don't set it up in the center. Maybe I'm thinking too much about it.
Set it up a little further out.
I'm just gonna throw this out there. He's a druid with a specialist in survival. He would know probably how to make an Iroquois fire.
A what?
Oh, that's a good idea.
You dig a hole down, straight down, and you dig a diagonal hole in for your airflow. You get heat and a very short radius of light without giving out a bunch of smoke and a bunch of light for other people to see. So you almost build like a heated hooded lantern because your fire is actually like 8 inches below the surface with a secondary hole coming in at an angle, and then your fire's in here and it comes up a hole. It's an Iroquois fire.
Can he roll a survival roll for that? And I
Like
can
stealth
help.
of fire.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to let him try to make that. I just think that that's gonna create a... It's just gonna light up one little area, and he won't know what
It will reduce the light for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But like what he can also do is like, you know, throw. I'm just putting this out there because I know Tom's pretty creative with his magic.
Mm-hmm.
You could throw light on a few coins and like cup his hands like a flashlight to look around, and things like that. So like a campfire might have a visibility range of, you know, maybe you can see it about 150, 200 feet away.
Yeah.
An Iroquois fire, you might only be able to see about 50 feet away. So it reduces.
Right. So
the range.
I guess the plus side is it won't draw people in from the outside as easily, but he just
Yeah.
won't be able to. If people are drawn in, he won't be able to see them until they're much closer.
Unless he either flicks a few light coins around or uses them like a flashlight in cupped hands. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I'm just putting it out there. I feel like that's a Tom idea.
Yeah.
He's
Well,
very
I'm just trying to make sure we know the downsides and plus sides of either. So yeah, I mean, I can see that. It's just if someone, yeah, okay. So maybe he's just gonna back
number
up
it
into
came
a
up.
corner. What were you saying?
Oh, sorry. The number, the 10 times the radius, is from 3.5. It was in the Underdark. How far away is a light source actually visible? Can someone tell that someone's got like a torch? The number they came up with was 100 times the light radius. So 20-foot light radius would be visible from 2,000 feet away.
Okay.
Things like that.
Yeah.
Just, I think it's a pretty good ballpark that's kind of realistic. Like if it were pitch black out and someone had a campfire going, like a half mile away, you'd probably be able to get flickers of that campfire if there was nothing obstructing your view.
Oh yeah, yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah, just rough number, putting it out there. I've always used as a ballpark. I didn't mean to pretend that was a hard and fast rule. 3.5, it's not 5e.
Oh, I gotcha. No, for sure. I mean, it all helps to make the decision for sure. So yeah, I mean, he's gonna go by limited light. I mean, the plus side is he's got observant, right? His passive perception's 18. He can hear a lot as long as they're not flying or sneaking in that way. So he's not totally inept. He'll probably back into a corner to observe the area, but just kind of have a small little light on him. We'll just... Or... I'm gonna say he'll... No, he can only do it on one couple things. My thought is he puts little lights on the outside and stays in the darkness, so that he can see movement on the perimeters. Is that agreeable?
Okay. Yep, that's fine with me.
Because then he can kind of see from further away rather than having to wait till someone gets closer, if that's what happens.
Yep.
All right.
Works.
All right, great then. All right, and then what? You guys just heading to bed at that point? You guys trying to get anything done? Any conversations happening?
No, I think it's just like a relatively like I'm not gonna pray tonight because I don't want to draw attention to ourselves and my prayer's noisy as fuck.
With the drum, yeah.
Yeah, so I think I might stay up for first watch tonight just to make sure everything's okay, and then I'll go to sleep after that.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty quiet night.
All right.
She might roll around a bit in the dirt to make sure the mud's fresh before she goes to bed.
That's
right. I'm covered in mud.
Yeah.
My bug mud. Just get a layer so thick they can't penetrate. Or they get stuck in it.
Yeah. That's hilarious.
Suffocate.
Yeah, what you gotta do is you gotta cover yourself in soap and vinegar, and then you're great.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
fruit
that
flies, not mosquitoes. Yeah, that would be better. Yeah, good point, not better.
But we are covered in mud, so hopefully between the mud and the repellent that helps.
All right. You guys made some precautions. Let's see if these...
Yeah, I guess basically that just counts as like stealth camp precautions, right? Like that's mechanically what we're doing.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's see here. Okay. You guys are hanging out, trying to keep quiet. What's Margarita doing? Just drinking, staying quiet.
Just drinking.
Just drinking and chilling. All right. Okay. Mark starts to hear footsteps.
Who is that? What is that?
I think it's Sean.
Vibrating?
Sorry.
Oh, okay.
He's got his vibrator on the desk.
Yeah.
I do. I just really like game, guys.
Yeah. We gotta get you one of those things that is remote controlled every time a crit hits. Alright,
Whoa!
drop it. Whoa!
Yeah, you send it to him and you keep the remote, Alex.
Yeah. Oh god.
I don't like where this is going.
I'm not gonna follow up on that and here, but that might be a business for someone, legitimately.
Legit.
Oh god.
I'm pretty sure there are people who do
I'm
do
sure.
that for money.
I'm so
Probably.
sure. Yeah.
Probably.
That's so funny. All right, so yeah, Mark is quiet. I guess he comes to one of the nearest tents and starts to wake you guys up. I'm hearing footsteps nearby. They don't seem to be approaching necessarily, but they seem thick. I just wanted to let you know.
Okay, we're up.
No.
No, we know to leave Snorri alone unless it's absolutely necessary.
I mean, I'd hate to deprive you of your sleep if it's nothing.
Well, I'll stay up for maybe 30 minutes and then go back to sleep.
Yeah, he's no good in this state.
Shh.
All right. Yeah, I guess. Well, Sigrun, you're on first. Well, I guess we're assuming this is past first watch. He's woken you up. This is probably the second hours. You're gonna stay up another couple hours.
No, I'm gonna stay up
or
another
half
like
an hour.
30 minutes
Yeah, sorry,
and then
yeah.
go to sleep.
All right. Yeah, you're still pretty tired.
Yeah.
Okay. And
I want to be. Has anyone ever watched Firefly here?
Yes.
no, I need to.
The very last.
What? Alex, you haven't seen Firefly? That shocks me.
I know.
Manal, yes, no.
No.
Okay, one of the characters is a tough called Jane, and in the last episode, there's like a bounty hunter who sneaks onto the ship, and while like a bunch of people are sleeping, and they keep waking up, and the bounty hunter takes them captive. And at one point, Jane finally wakes up, and he's like, "Huh." And he grabs a blanket off the wall and pulls it down, and there's like all his hidden guns, and the music gets high, and he just wraps the blanket around him, rolls over, and goes back to sleep, and that's it. You never see the tough guy in the entire episode. That's it.
I see Tom is logged into Foundry.
Oh. Well, maybe we should wait before anything happens and see.
Yeah.
Maybe give him 5 minutes.
Yeah, sounds good.
5 minutes.
I'm sure he'll be there.
If you would have gotten here 5 minutes sooner, we wouldn't be in this mess. I'm a dick. Sorry.
Oh, it's good.
Well, at the very least, I mean, I'll have to repeat this when he comes back, but yeah, I mean, you're hearing these thick, deep footsteps emanate from somewhere within a few hundred, probably about 200 feet from you.
Does it sound too big to be people? Like it sounds too heavy to be people?
It sounds.
Do you want me to roll survival?
Yeah, give me a survival, or yeah, that'll be fine.
Okay.
Dumb
Well, Tom's
thing.
here now, so Tom can also.
What up, Tom?
I mean, I got a 14. Shouldn't be too difficult to be
Solid.
like, hey, that's not a person.
I mean,
It's definitely too big for any of House Karanok. I'll say that for sure. Yeah, no human is that big.
Okay. It's not House Karanok. Just be on your guard and yell if they get closer.
What up, Tom?
What have I missed?
You're
Not
keeping
Stories.
watch.
everything.
So your key. So it's still that night. Snorri's conked the fuck out. He's on a do not wake up unless we absolutely need him kind of thing. And then you just woke Margarita and I up because you can hear something moving around outside. But it's not coming closer. And I just identified with a survival roll that the footsteps are way too heavy to be anybody from House Karanok. So it's something or someone else.
A big, thick,
Probably
deep-
not people looking specifically to murder us. Murder us in particular. At least. So I'm going back to sleep. And I've asked you to wake me up if we're about to fight.
Good night.
Good night.
Sorry for the false alarm.
No, I'd rather be up than not. He keeps
Oh.
talking about weird dream shit anyways. Man, he's having one hell of a fever dream, so I'm not sleeping much anyways. She crawls back into the tent.
So we did make some decisions, but I'd like to know what Mark would have done in the situation. The suggestion was we shouldn't have a campfire tonight because then people would find us. But then I pitched as you wouldn't be able to see anyone and your watch wouldn't be as good. So like, how would you have overcome that? Anything specific come to mind?
Unless... Do I have that yet?
Well,
Come
well,
on,
Sean.
no,
Sean
hang on. I want to hear this.
Yeah.
I want to hear Tom's thoughts first, because fingers crossed.
I didn't mean to roll
fine.
that.
Yeah.
I
I'm not trying to
instant
undo.
spell.
Rolls.
I'm just interested in
Yeah.
what he would do.
Unless I needed light, I wouldn't have any light. I do have the light cantrip if I need it.
Mm-hmm.
But unless something really sparks my something's coming
Sparks?
at me or something's coming into our camp, I wouldn't spark up the light.
Mm-hmm. You'd just sit in the darkness and listen and deprive yourself the light.
Yeah.
Yeah?
No, my audio devices are good. They pick up well.
Then I think we hit pretty much what he probably would have done. We
Yeah.
had lit up little bitty lights
Sean
on the
had
perimeters.
an idea to make a Iroquois. Wait, I thought Sean.
So
I thought we
what
did-
I had said Mark would have done is make an Iroquois fire, so a below ground fire. You know, you dig the pit, and you make the fire a few inches below ground, and then you have a secondary airflow in, because Mark, being good at survival, would know how to do this. And then secondly, would cast light on a few coins cupped in their hand, and would use it as a flashlight if needed.
Love it.
So I imagine these little lights on the outside are those, I can't pronounce the word, but the things Sean suggested. So yeah, so you're not shining light out into the outside world to draw things to you, but if something gets close, you can kind of see them entering the area.
Yeah.
All right.
That sounds perfect.
Well, going on from there, I guess you hear these footsteps. You'd woken up Sigrun, let her know. She goes back to sleep. They haven't approached.
Does it sound more like an animal? Since it sounds heavier?
Give me a survival or nature.
We all know I'm not choosing nature.
Fair.
I'm too good at it. I want it to be a challenge.
Yeah. Yeah.
Far too good at nature with my -1.
With your natural body. Okay, that's pretty good. No, you're not sure that it's an animal. An animal would be almost more chaotic, maybe. These seem thoughtful, searching. Higher intelligence than a monster.
A little more high alert. Like I am, like I can't see well, so more eyes closed. So I deprive myself of one sense to heighten my hearing.
Okay.
If anything gets in this campsite, it's getting lit up, one way or another.
Okay, you hear, you kind of phase out the vision, and you just kind of hone into the audio of the area. You hear the crickets and the mosquitoes, but Beyond that, you pick up voices, deeper voices. How the heck do we get out of this area? I don't know. Is this the houses, or I can't see shit in the dark. I told you we should have used a torch. That's what you hear? Guys, might I suggest we just settle down for now and start back up in the morning? Oh, shut up. You're not in charge here. No matter how much you want to be.
How far do these voices sound like they are?
200 feet. You're not necessarily at risk of them just stumbling upon you. It's echoing out from a few blocks away, but you're focused in on it. And you don't have to do anything.
I'm just gonna keep listening and paying attention. We're not in the position to fuck with people at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Just in case, I'm just gonna let them be and keep paying attention to them. If they do settle down, I will just try to remember where they were last.
Okay. Okay, yeah, I mean, you stay up listening to their chatter. So where's he, well, no, that's not a question they'd ask. Okay, oh, I read that wrong. I thought it was a question, so I can kill him. Alright,
It's never a question.
yeah. You're just like, I'll do it. Yeah, I guess you hear the footsteps head south before they kind of fade out. And you stop hearing
Bye
them.
forever.
All right. Let's give you a rest. Long rest. Initiated.
Sleep?
The sleep has begun. All right. I need to look up something on the document really quick.
If it's a disease, I get a second saving throw each day, and when I pass 3 in a row, I'm free of the disease.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. I mean, I'm sure
Or
that's true. I think
a
there's more
total
specific
three.
rules for this one, but yeah, that'd be true.
That's a general. You're right. That's a general disease rules. I apologize.
Oh no, don't apologize. You're not wrong.
Don't take this away from me, man. I'm apologizing.
All right.
Let me have this. Oh, Momo. That was a bold jump for Momo.
Boing.
And now Momo's like, just gonna put his butt on your head.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm just doing some spell
Just
switches.
sitting on the headrest. That's so
Okay.
funny. What a monkey.
All right. Let's get some survival checks from everyone. You're spending another night here. The same thing that Snorri was exposed to. All of the mosquitoes kind of rushing around you. You're swatting them all night. Hopefully no
I'm
one
good for
else
this,
gets
right?
sick. Yeah, you can't get poisoned.
Are you prompting us, or do I just have to go to
No,
the character
just
sheet?
roll it. Yeah, just go to the character sheet.
I'm immune to diseases.
I don't know what happened. It rolled with advantage, and it shouldn't have, but I'll spend my inspiration to take the 18. Because it automatically rolled with advantage, so I guess I should... clicked the-
it rolled.
Oh, I have
because you're
disadvantage.
sick, but you should have. You went to bed early to get advantage on your roll, which means it would
Okay,
have
so
canceled out. So the 18 is the roll.
So
you
20.
succeed. Oh, with the nice. Okay, yeah, 20.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, freaking Snorri has fever dreams tonight, but shakes out of the sickness by morning.
Oh,
Who else are we looking for? Sigrun?
No, I wasn't sick.
No, not because
No,
it's
everyone.
because you're here.
Oh,
Too many
okay.
votes.
He just failed yesterday.
Does my mud do anything?
Okay, yeah, I'll give you advantage. You can roll advantage
Sick.
on that.
Thank you. And it's Constitution?
It's
Survival.
Survival? Okay.
Oh,
Well,
no,
that was
this-
one. Okay,
Oh,
I
that's
only
one.
rolled
You're right.
one.
You're right. Okay, you're right.
Okay, 14.
Better.
And a 14. Okay. Oh, good. Yeah, you maybe sneeze once during your sleep, but you wake up fine, unaffected. Sigrun, Snorri, and Margarita are not sick. Mark never was gonna be. There's just a bunch of mosquitoes sitting on him. He's just. They can't suck any. I guess they'd probably leave when they couldn't. Okay, actually, okay. And
I feed them little bits of blood.
yeah, I know. I'm like, you're full of blood. I bet all the mosquitoes love you.
I feed them. They're my horde.
Just like little droplets.
You
just
just have
like
a little
spray them
army.
with a bottle.
yeah.
This is
little
how we
baby
take
bottle.
down your big. This is how we take down your big bad this time, Alex. Is we have an army of mosquitoes.
Yeah, you're just gonna befriend everything in the jungle. I mean, we're done here. They can do the job now. Sick 'em.
Did you give Momo a decoy chair? Oh no. Okay, Momo's gone.
What?
It looked like
Oh, yeah.
Momo. You gave Momo a decoy chair.
Yeah, it's the work chair.
Oh.
That's
so
where he
funny.
sleeps.
Aw.
All right. Well, you guys all wake up the next morning feeling refreshed. Nothing attacked you during the night. You're safe. You're replenished. What are your plans for the day?
Headed blue.
What? Petting Blue?
Does Snorri feel good when he wakes up, or is he still sick?
Snorri is feeling much better. You can breathe.
Ugh.
The sweat is gone. Ooh, your joints don't feel as tense.
Hey, listen, I can breathe again.
Oh yeah, that sounds a lot better than last night. Yeah, you're
Right?
right on the mend. Yeah.
Ugh.
You were spouting nonsense last night. You had some crazy dream.
Oh, that wasn't nonsense. Hugrek talked to me.
What?
Yeah, he said because of some barrier keeping the gods out, he could only talk to me, and he had to do it really subtle because they were hoping I was sick. No one would notice, and it was specifically about the fact that several gods are working with the Red Knight, and that's the reason we're here.